New Mexico State gets the football first. Strong left leg of Matt Ariza, and into the end zone it goes. And it's the Aggies of New Mexico State that touch the ball first. And their quarterback, Jonah Johnson, the junior. Now, he is a California kid, and there's a lot of those on this team here in Southern California tonight. 26 California natives, and Johnson's out of Fresno City College.
It's going to be extremely important to get Johnson settled down, get him some confidence, some high percentage, highly accurate throws to kind of get him in a rhythm. He started out a little rough last week, fumbled on the second drive, and I think he kind of just fell apart after that.
On 1st and 10, Jacinto in motion. Johnson has time, little dump off, and that was a problem last week. Johnson hit his mark numerous times, including a couple of potential touchdown scores, and they had dropped balls, and the first one tonight is dropped. Aggies up front. Guy to watch is that left tackle, Sage Doxtatter, number 76. He's really, really good, and a good tight end, and Tomas Whitford as well. This is an air raid offense, and they go right to it. Terrell Warner with the catch, and Warner's across the 30 to the 32. That sets a 3rd down and 2 against a very good defense. And take your pick for San Diego State defensively. Who's a guy that you like to focus on tonight?
Keep your eye on the back end, and Trenton Thompson, he's the field warrior. He's a captain. He's just a clock-punching lunch pail guy. He just goes to work. Very inexperienced on the back end, but he brings that. He's got to be a leader back there with a bunch of guys getting some fresh starts. 3rd
down and 3. Air raid goes. That ball just off the fingertips of Jacinto. And it looks like 3 and out for New Mexico State.
Couple of really nice early passes there for Johnson. The first one was dropped. That would have helped make that probably a 1st down play. 3 and out is not the way you want to start on a road against a defense that's been pretty salty over the years.
Doug Martin, a very good quarterback coach himself, the 9th year. And he's worked hard with Johnson, the junior. He's a big quarterback, 6'3", almost 240. Josh Carlson has a big leg, and that man's dangerous. Jordan Bird, whether he's in the backfield or whether he's returning kicks. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown last year, and San Diego State nearly got that one. Bird says get away. Bounce goes New Mexico State's way, and the Aggies down it right around the 24-yard line. And so now, center stage comes the offense. Jordan Brookshire is a survivor, man. Won a state championship at Laney Junior College. They think he could be special.
They loved the way that he consistently competed throughout camp and improved his accuracy. He missed 4 weeks with COVID a season ago, had an up and down year, but really seems to have gained some confidence. So how he comes out here and starts early is also going to be something to watch.
Now they do spread it, but oftentimes they'll spread it and run it. And Greg Bell can get downhill in a hurry. This is Bell. Good hit as he's met by Taylor Milton, the linebacker for the Aggies. Here's the offense for San Diego State. They've got a lot of super seniors, and they've got a great offensive line. William Duckel and Zachary Thomas are 2 of the stars up front. And guys that you've seen in the past outside: Matthews, Dado, Smith, Cody, Busby. Shotgun and a quick throw. That's Jesse Matthews with the catch. At the 32, he is short of the 1st down. 3rd down and about 2. Tell me about this defense for the Aggies.
Well, the defense, as we heard Lindsey say earlier, is without their playmaker, Trevor Brohard. So their defensive coordinator, Frank Spaziani, says, hey, we're more technician than we are magician. We need to play fundamentally sound and get our pads under pads, cancel gaps, squeeze blocks, and make tackles.
2 tight ends in, Bellinger and Jay Rudolph. And Bell, left side. He has the 1st down. They'll mark him at the 34. And so San Diego State, mixing in a short pass with a couple of runs, has moved the sticks.
We're going to see a lot of Greg Bell tonight. Their offensive coordinator, Jeff Heklinski, said we want him to get 15 touches in the 1st half. They want to feed this young man so that it can open up the pass game. They are run first, but they do want to throw it vertically.
He had 4 100-yard games last year to open up his season. Has a hole. Excellent move there, and he's across the 40. That's a gain of 7. Caleb Mills made the stop.
And this is a great example of his shiftiness. Look at this right there. Boom. Makes somebody miss, gets to the second level, and almost breaks an arm tackle there. That's what makes him so explosive. He can run with power, but he's also elusive.
There's Hecklinski in his second year. And, of course, last year, new coordinators, new coach, and no run-up to the season. Blitz comes, and Brookshire had a man open, but he ran out of time, and it's incomplete. Ethan Dado was the intended receiver.
They brought some pressure backside, a corner blitz off that back outside edge. See off that edge, and the left tackle, Thomas, does a good job of picking him up, but there's pressure on the inside right as he throws the football, and that's what leads to the inaccurately thrown ball. He wasn't able to follow through. Good pressure there that time by the Aggies.
Josh Ferguson planted him. Now this is kind of a tweener down. Third down and a long 3, almost 4. Brookshire rolling, in trouble, and hit, and he squirts the ball forward. I don't know if he threw it or fumbled it.
He was trying to throw it to avoid the sack.
And New Mexico State has it. Chris Ojo fell on it. And so this is going to be a turnover, but my guess is they're going to look at this as well.
That's sometimes where a quarterback may be trying to do too much. There was nothing there. Immediate pressure in his face. Chance Bell didn't have a good block, so he's just trying to get rid of the football. His knees down. That's a sack, and that avoids a very costly turnover that could have jump-started this defense. It's already had some success, Rich, getting some pressure.
Yes, they have. That's Josh Ferguson who is in there. And right now, New Mexico State's offense is on, but we just looked at that, and it clearly looked like his knee was down before the ball came out.
The ruling on the field is that the quarterback was down.
This is worth a second look. Obviously, I agree with you, though, Rich. Right there, his knee's down, and he's still got possession of the football right there. It's not till his knee's down that he leans forward and kind of backhands it to try to get rid of the football.
All right, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. If his knee wasn't down, what would you call that, a fumble or a pass?
It's really interesting. Honestly, I don't know. That's a really interesting call because I don't remember seeing somebody throw the football with that throwing motion underneath.
What a punt there by Ariza. Downs with the catch, and he's smothered at the 12-yard line. That's a mammoth punt. Ariza doing the kicking and the punting, and he got all of that one. Underway in Carson, California. $35,000 it'll seat. $310 million to build it, and it is gorgeous. New Mexico State, Dom Jacinto on a catch from Johnson, breaks the tackle, gets up the sideline, and is across the 35 before Caden McDonald knocks him out of bounds.
This is a great start to this offense. You can already tell that Jonah Johnson's getting into a rhythm. It's off of play action, and it's just dumping it out and basically running a slip screen with some great blocking and a couple missed tackles, and Zero was out and running.
They got off to a slow start last week, but their second half was decidedly better than their first half. They knocked a lot of rust off by the time they came out of the locker room after halftime. And we'll see if that shows up here tonight. Johnson, another quick screen. That's a nice catch there. Jacinto again, and he's popped along the sideline, but not before he picks up 7 more yards.
What we're watching Johnson do is throw his favorite balls. He likes the quick game, Rich. He wants to get that ball out of his hand, and why not put it out on the perimeter and use your speed.
It's an air raid. What pressure does that put on a defense?
It puts a lot of pressure on because you're throwing the football 80 to 85 times, and you have to cover receivers and man coverage across the field.
Johnson finds his man again. That's Jacinto, who's been the feature receiver so far. He's got a 4-yard pickup, and that's a first down.
See, Jacinto got up there, grabbing his left elbow a little bit. He just left the game, but they're clearly targeting him. And a great job coming up there in the open field by Thompson. He's the vet back there, and that's what they expect him to do. Playing a different position this season, being a field warrior.
Jacinto on the sideline. They ran it, and they have some talented running backs. Omari Samuels and Jawan Price are a couple guys that they think are talented, but right now it is full-on air raid. Johnson fires, sideline, caught there That's Cole Harity. And Harity deep into San Diego State territory, out of bounds at the 33.
I gotta tell you, we're gonna go back to the play before this and look at Dominic Jacinto. Ooh, you see the torque on that elbow. Looks like it hyperextends a little bit. Remember, he's been the feature go-to target. After this play, he left, and he's yet to come back.
But a great throw by Johnson. Harity with the catch, and that's Harity again to the near side, and he's inside the 30. Patrick McMorris makes the hit. And look at New Mexico State coming into California, the home of the Aztecs. A noted great defense, not just in the Mountain West, but in the country. They're moving the football.
They are, and what you're noticing is San Diego State behind this 3-3-5 defense likes to run a lot of quarters coverage, so there's a lot of space in between there. They're going to have to firm that up, maybe go to a cover 2 so that they can defend the flats a little better than they have on this drive.
And Jacinto is back in the ballgame at the top of your screen. Shotgun for Johnson, 2nd and 4. Fires to the sideline, caught there, spinning away. Terrell Warner made the catch. Warner, the junior out of Louisiana, and that's a first down.
A couple of the things that I'm noticing is how Jonah Johnson's standing in the pocket. Look how he navigates there. He doesn't look to pull the ball down. He keeps his eyes downfield. He looks remarkably better, Rich, in this game than he looked at any point last week.
Well, he's from the Central Valley of California, Madera, Fresno City College. This is a big night for him, playing here in Carson. And Samuels gets his first carry, and he's got nothing there. Cedarius Barfield, the junior out of El Paso. New Mexico State fans know where that is. They played UTEP last week. Barfield made the stop.
Running the football is something that they would like to do as a changeup. Omari Samuels, Jawan Price, even Alex Escobar, who's a captain as a walk-on. That's a great story that we'll get into later in the game. But that Aztec defense wasn't having it. They're really tough to run on.
This is full-on Hal Mummy, Mike Leach air raid stuff. And right now, it's been successful. Got to have a quick trigger on a blitz. Nice catch in the air. Jared Wyatt inside the 15, down to the 13, shy of the first down. Noah Tumblin made the stop.
Jarrett Wyatt is their deep threat that averages a good job. He just comes in underneath with the dig route, and because the coverage is so dropped off, Jonah Johnson's able to deliver it. It's not a very accurately thrown pass, but Wyatt goes up and gets it and moves the sticks.
3rd down and 3 for New Mexico State, their second possession, and they have driven it nearly length of the field.
3rd down was a real challenge for them a week ago, only 3 for 15. They'd love to convert this here and keep this drive going.
Aztecs show blitz, and here they come. Everybody, Johnson's throw is short, and it's 4th down and 3. Downs was the intended receiver, and it was Andrew Alecki, the senior out of Honolulu, who put the pressure on.
Credit the Aztecs for bringing pressure and getting in Johnson's face. He wasn't able to set his feet, and when a quarterback does that, it takes the accuracy off. Because of that 3rd down success there, I would expect the Aztecs to continue to dial up the pressure, but they firmed up here in the red zone, forcing this attempt at a field goal.
This is one of the biggest kickers you'll find. Ethan Albertson, 6'2", 253, and Albertson's kick is up and good. And the kid from San Diego, who's hobbling a bit after that kick, puts New Mexico State on the board first. 3-0 Aggies.
After impressive drive. Now, I knew coming into this game, the keys, Rich, for the Aggies offensively, they had to turn potential into points. Too many missed opportunities last week where they didn't convert. So far, so good there. On the defensive side, getting back to basics with fundamentals defensively. For the Aztecs, they need to find a vertical pass game. Only 6 yards per attempt a season ago. The forward pass was elusive. They've got to change that with Brookshire. And finally, the defense, fresh squeezed JJ. They have to limit the legs of the Aggie quarterback, Jonah Johnson, by tackling well and squeezing the pocket so that he cannot let them hurt him with his legs.
So far, he looks fresh. He does not look squeezed.
It definitely is not concentrate, but he is concentrating those footballs into the flats and getting the ball out very quickly so his receivers can do their thing. And really impressive.
Remember, Doug Martin is also the offensive coordinator for this team. That's an impressive start for New Mexico State. Kagan Williams and Jordan Bird are deep, and this is Bird who takes a knee. Tomorrow at 2 Eastern, CBS Sports Network and Athletes Unlimited collide for some fast pitch action on the diamond. The players call the shots, and in the end, only one can be crowned champion. That's right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Our producer, Deb Bulak, in her days at your alma mater,
that's right.
Notre Dame, was a key contributor on the softball team.
We've always had a very good softball team at Notre Dame, and Deb was a big part of that.
Now, let's see if San Diego State can get their offense rolling. Jordan Brookshire has Greg Bell to work with, a terrific offensive line, and a tight end in Daniel Bellinger that they want to get the ball to a little more this year. On a pitch, this is Bell, has a sliver and gets through and chews up 11 yards.
This is just a toss sweep, so the linebackers read that it's fast flow right away. Eric Marsh, number 48, overruns this right here, and this is the elusiveness of Greg Bell being able to get to that second level, making the first defender miss.
Boy, did you see Zach Thomas flying through that shot with a great block. Brookshire's throw, and I don't think Bellinger was looking for the football because it zipped right by him.
It came really quickly because they brought Chris Ojo off that outside edge, and he was in his face right away. Brookshire would have liked a little bit more time to be able to put that ball on Bellinger. It
looks like New Mexico State's defense is disrupting San Diego State.
There's no question that they seem out of whack so far. They've got to be able to get things going and get themselves into a rhythm.
Well, this is the rhythm maker, right? And Bell is taken down. Boy, that's a terrific hit by Eric Marsh, the junior linebacker.
And remember, Eric Marsh is the player that's filling in for Trevor Brohard, the best football name in the history of football. But take a look at this. 44 rush attempts per game, third in the Mountain West a season ago. They like to ground and pound, but again, pushing the football down the field a priority in 21.
As Lindsay pointed out, Brohard is their best defensive player and leader. COVID complications. He is back in Las Cruces. Brookshire sideline, and it's broken up. For a moment, it was caught. Jesse Matthews and Torrin Union, the sophomore, got there to break it up.
That's a ball that has to be caught. Jesse Matthews is the leading wide receiver from a season ago, and that drop right there just killed a drive that looked pretty good running the ball on the ground.
That makes his aunt and uncle pretty proud, right?
No doubt.
Gabriel Union, Dwayne Wade. That's a pretty good aunt and uncle to have.
And did you see him? He was feeling it afterwards, man. And why wouldn't you? You're on the road against a good team, and they're more than holding their own so far.
Best player on the field for San Diego State so far has been Matt Ariza, 63-yarder, the first punt. That one is pinned inside the 10. Right now, the momentum squarely on the shoulders of the Aggies. New Mexico State with an impressive drive and a field goal and a lead over San Diego State.
There's no question about that. They've been getting things going, and it's all Jonah Johnson being able to deliver the football quickly. There's been some late pressure, but early on it was finding Dominic Jacinto. But 4 different receivers caught a completion on this drive. He targeted 6 overall. That is wheeling and dealing in the way that this air raid offense is designed to run.
And Johnson looks poised. He's getting enough time.
Look at
He's
that.
A big, strong dude at 6'3", 240. Look at that.
Unbelievable.
83 yards already. And remember, 8 of 11, he had one dropped and another bounced off the hands of an intended receiver.
Now look at this, a lot tighter coverage up top, and then they bail. That's a different look than they've shown so far.
And on the ground they go. Juwan Price with the carry, and Price is out to the 15-yard line. He's the secondary back along with Omari Samuels. 2nd down and 3.
And good news for the Aggie fans, Dominic Jacinto, number 0, is back out. He had what looked to be a little bit of a boo-boo on his elbow, but he's a tough kid. He's back out there. He's a big help to this offense.
Johnson has spread it around. 4 receivers already have caught balls. Long count, short yardage. Caden McDonald makes the hit. We'll bring up 3rd down and 3, and we check in with Lindsay. Lindsay?
Yeah, Jacinto's right elbow was bothering him after he came out of the game. He was flexing it, shaking it out quite a bit, but it seems to, he seems to be over it now. They put some tape on it, and obviously he's back in the game. Guys, this sideline has juice, but not too much juice. It's been an interesting thing to watch, considering their fast start.
And we'll see, where does an air raid go for 3 yards on 3rd down?
It's going to be tight. They've got quick coverage. Watch his legs, though. This is a good time for him to run it, and there he goes.
Left side, it's hit, and at 240, he'll take you with him. First down, New Mexico State, Cedric Lakalaka, the senior linebacker.
Well, when you need a big back to tote the ball, give it to your quarterback who's 6'3", 235. He's met in the hole, but look at that forward momentum. He gains an additional 3 yards after contact. That's efficient running and a way to move the sticks.
If you're just joining us, this is somewhat of a surprise. New Mexico State has come out and moved the ball quite well against a really good San Diego State defense. Johnson steps up, little crossing route, flag down, Harity the catch. This one may come back. Harity's out to the 26.
And that was the very play that they ran on the first play of the game that Harity dropped. It's an air raid staple, those shallow crossers.
Holding off number 78. Half the distance to the first down.
That's Gabriel Preciado right there. He's got that hand, and you see that he turns the shoulders of Keyshawn Banks. And he does it right in front of the official that's standing behind the quarterback. And that's an easy call. That's what makes this defense so hard to defend. They're very quick and undersized defensive linemen that don't stay in one spot.
It's a first down and 20. Back to the air raid, but also back inside their own 10-yard line. Johnson, 8 of 11, 83 yards. Escapes, stumbles, and is down at the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a sack, and for Cameron Thomas.
Look at the outside pressure here off this outside edge. You're going to see the running back, number 5, Samuels, come over and try to block him, but he completely whiffs. Just a good job of initial pressure there. To your point, Rich, Cam Thomas was right there. May get credit for the sack, but it was Cedric Lakalaka with that big club on his hand that earned that one.
Second down and 21. Doug Martin told us that he needed a little more accuracy out of Jonah Johnson. I think he has given his head coach that tonight. Little swing pass. That's Samuels on the sideline. Ooh, big hit. Looked like a clean hit, but man, was that loud. And coming up was Taylor Hawkins, the senior corner.
From Palm Springs, they probably heard this hit all the way in Palm Springs. That was a physical play. Right there in front of the parade. That's the stuff I miss, Rich. Those sorts of hits. I know you didn't get that in baseball, but back in high school, in the East Bay, I'm sure that you used to bring the wood just like that.
Yeah, I was a diminutive wide receiver that got abused on most Friday nights. After the catch. Third down and 15 on the ground, and Price to the 15-yard line. Cameron Thomas makes the hit, and so the Aztecs defensively, with the help of that penalty, which really kind of wiped out the momentum for the Aggies, will turn it over on down, or will turn it over to their punter, Josh Carlson. And the return game for San Diego State, don't overlook that. Last year they took a kickoff and a punt back for a touchdown.
That's one of those drives that the Aggies are going to want to flush. It started out bad and ended that way.
Not a great kick from Carlson. A great bounce, though, for the Aggies. You don't lead with your head, you lead with that shoulder. He got the shoulder in there, made a clean hit. It's 3-0 New Mexico State. New Mexico State on the road on top, 3-0 over San Diego State. Don't miss a WNBA tip-off and a dream and the Dallas Wings. That's tomorrow at 4 Eastern. Catch the action right here on CBS Sports Network. We saw that hit going to break, and it reminded us of last week. Chris Bell of New Mexico State, this hit against UTEP cost him the second half last week and the first half this week. He's on the trip, but that's an obvious crown of the helmet hit. He will play in the second half.
I'm sorry about that, buddy, but yeah, player safety is a point of emphasis. That was the crown of the helmet. The runner there wasn't defenseless, but it's basically the old spearing rule, and they got it right.
Brookshire hit as he throws. Man open. It's tipped and incomplete. And Brookshire was down hard. Tyrell Shavers, the intended receiver. Ferguson, as in Josh, the linebacker, was there to disrupt Brookshire.
They're bringing some pressure in his face. He can hit Daniel Bellinger, who's right there, but he tries to push it downfield, throws across his body, and is very lucky this football didn't get intercepted. It's hit right as he releases the football, and that was awfully close to forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defensive player.
This is Bell, and he's going to get about 5 yards. Greg Bell, that is. Remember, there's two Bells, Greg and Chance. Greg is 22, Chance is 21. Greg is the guy that gets most of the work, but we should see Chance Bell. We have seen Jordan Bird. And a 3rd down and 6. They have trailed against New Mexico State 3 times out of the last 4 times they've played.
Yeah, back in 2013, they trailed by 16 before eventually winning.
3rd down 7. Finally, they get it to the big man, Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger at 6'6", 255 out of Las Vegas. And expect to see a lot more of that this year from San Diego State.
He's such a big target, just runs a spot route right over the ball. In a 3rd medium like that, that's a go-to pass and a really nice job of pitch and catch to move the sticks. You're in the part of the field now where if you want to take a vertical shot, this is a great place to do it.
Bell trying to bounce outside, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds at the 42. So, question for you, Aaron Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Why can't San Diego State throw the football like they wanted to last year? They really have put an emphasis on it this year.
Honestly, it's been the quarterback. They haven't had players that could deliver the football accurately down the field, but it's also a combination of not having receivers that are burners that can create the separation that's needed to be able to do so. So it's almost a double-edged sword. When you have both those things working, it makes it really difficult.
2nd down and 8. Greg Bell again spins. Now remember, last year, new coordinators. Jeff Hecklinski came in. They went to more of a spread, but they had no spring-summer practices. Very few chances to practice the offense before they played a game. And so implementing a new offensive structure was darn near impossible.
Yeah, with new terminology and new plays. For those out there that have computers, if you're a PC person and you go to a Mac or vice versa, it all does the same stuff, but it's located differently. It's inefficient, and that's what learning a new offense is like.
3rd down 3. Bell bounces outside, has the 1st down. Out to the 20. Greg Bell inside the 20. They'll mark him down at the 17. Caleb Mills made the stop for New Mexico State.
This is what makes this running back room so dangerous, is that they have players with diverse skill sets. The way he pressed the line of scrimmage, Greg Bell did, sucking the linebacker up, but then he's got the quicks right there to bounce it outside, use his speed to run away from the defense.
Well, 1 quarter in the books for San Diego State in 2021. Greg Bell starting to find his rhythm. Brady Hope and the Aztecs down, headed to the 2nd. New Mexico State a 3-0 lead. New Mexico State up 3-0. San Diego State on the move in the red zone, and that's a point of emphasis this year for the Aztecs.
They struggled last year, Rich, only scoring 24.6 points per game, and a big reason why is because they were inefficient down there. And take a look at this quarterback comparison. Jordan Brookshire looking like Jonah Johnson did a week ago, and Jonah Johnson looking like an all-pro quarterback. He looks remarkably different, way more confident, and seems to be quite a bit more in sync. Credit him and this coaching staff for quite a turnaround.
And here are the Aztecs in the red zone. And you see last season, last in the Mountain West. And throwing the football in the red zone especially was an issue for the Aztecs last year.
So you have trips up top. There's going to be some vertical routes. They want touchdowns or checkdowns.
Greg Bell, right side, big hole, falls forward inside the 10. Ball's loose. New Mexico State says they have it. Officials haven't seen it yet. And nothing yet from the officials. There's been no signal yet.
Field.
And of course they got it. My goodness, keep us in suspense longer. The microphone went out and everything, but it wasn't until that arm went up. New Mexico State forces a turnover and gets the ball. Torrin Union came out with the ball.
This is exactly what you want to do defensively. Greg Bell with only one hand on the football through the contact
Recovered
zone.
New Mexico.
That ball comes out.
And there's Union, who found the ball, number 15.
What a great opportunity for this defense. Remember, as bad as the Aggies played last week, they won the turnover battle with 2 interceptions, and they're picking up right where they left off, particularly in an area that's been problematic for the Aztecs.
And that young man has had quite a start to tonight. Torrin Union, the sophomore, the transfer out of South Dakota State. Mesa, Arizona is home. And he wasn't in on the original hit, but he was alert enough to get into the scrum and get the football.
Looks like it was the tackle there by Donovan King. You see Ferguson's that's there, but then there's Union. That ball squirts out, and he sees it, and he jumps on it right away. But this fumble is called. Chance Bell needs to cover the football up with both hands right there. That's why that ball squirts out. That's just a heck of a play. Bell needs to be smarter there.
It was sitting under Donovan King, and Torrin Union saw it. And that is a huge turn of events. New Mexico State's looked good offensively. San Diego State's first real drive of the night, and it ends in a red zone turnover.
You see the look of disappointment there on Bell's face. He knows that that was a huge and costly mistake after a beautiful drive really going down the field. But remember, Rich, this is the Aztecs' first live real competition of the season. These sorts of things happen when you've got a different colored jersey across the line of scrimmage from you.
Obviously, we're having trouble with Stephen Barron's microphone. But I think he said, hey, let's play. And New Mexico State's got the ball. And nice play by number 15, Torrin Union. I hear you on San Diego State and Brady Hoke, and this is their first game. But remember, New Mexico State didn't play a game last year. They were an independent. Their schedule was canceled. They did get a pretty good spring, summer, and fall camp in before the start of this year.
But because of the state laws, and Doug Martin, their head coach, pointed this out, they said they were not allowed to be in the building and do anything with football. He said the time off hurt them significantly.
Johnson, another quick throw. That's Jacinto. He's across the 20, darts out to the 22. Taylor Hawkins hit him, but not before 12 more yards.
So Kurt Maddox seems to be happy right now of letting him do simple pitches and catches underneath. It's almost a bend but break philosophy, which isn't what the Aztecs like to do.
And the air raid is designed to fill the air with footballs. And just like that, little medium range, Jared Wyatt made the catch. Or excuse me, that was Terrell Warner with the catch. And it'll be second down and about 5.
That's one of his favorite throws, those quick hitches that come out quickly. I'd really like to see the Aztecs tighten up coverage, try to reroute the receivers, put some pressure in his face so that he can't go to his first read.
He really hasn't gone deep yet. Steps in, looks downfield, lobs it, and breaking off the pattern was Robert Downs, and it's incomplete. Noah Tumblin on the coverage, and one note there, Tumblin in defensively for Noah Avenger, who is out with an injury. Avenger, a true freshman, got the start, but Tumblin's in there now.
We talked about some of the missed opportunities where you're missing receivers that are wide open. He's got a read backside with both his guys covered front side. That's an example of Jonah Johnson missing opportunities. Expect pressure here.
Yeah, third down. Blitz. Johnson's throw on the money, caught there, and that's Downs for a first down for New Mexico State across the 20. Johnson lost his lid and is on his way to the sideline.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out for a play as per the rule, but what
lost his helmet during the down. He must go off for one play.
He's got that big old beard.
New Mexico State.
And that
first charge
old...
timeout of the half.
We will take a timeout. This is a surprise. New Mexico State up early, 3-0. Martin is a wily veteran. He knows that if your helmet comes off, you have to come out unless you take a timeout, and he took a timeout, and that keeps Jonah Johnson in the game.
And the reason that he did that is because they're without Weston Eget, their backup quarterback from last week. Got injured on the last play of the game, is not here on the trip. So Dino Maldonado, who was their number 3, is their backup. And Doug Martin didn't feel comfortable letting him come in and take a snap. That was a great use of the timeout there.
Just across the 40, New Mexico State has moved the football against San Diego State early on. Johnson sideline, gorgeous throw. Wyatt with the catch, escapes out of bounds. That's another chunk of yardage. Terrell Warner at the 47.
Look at the bottom of the screen. Just a great route, and going to come back and make his way towards the sideline. That rhythm, these are rhythm throws, Rich. The Aztecs are getting a little bit of pressure up inside, but because the ball's out so quickly, it's ineffective.
4-man front, and on the ground, Samuels breaks loose to the 30 and inside the 25. Omori Samuels, Trenton Thompson made the hit.
Just a great job by the interior 3 picking up the stunt there. Good job coming around, getting up to the second level. Great vision and burst there by Samuels. That run caught San Diego State off guard a little bit, and that was a great changeup.
First down at the 24 of San Diego State. Johnson is 13 of 17. Crossing route. That's Harity. Breaks a tackle inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That's another 5 yards.
This is just air raid staples, where you're running the number 1 receiver off, you're bringing him out, and you're bringing him across the backside. You see, it makes it really hard for that safety to track him all the way across the field. The air raid is humming.
Samuels again, and this time Cameron Thomas there to knock him off his feet. No gain, 3rd down, and a long 5, maybe 6.
That was a great job by Cameron Thomas. He's a stud, man. They moved him to defensive end this year. He's been playing since he's a true freshman, a local kid to San Diego. His brother, as you pointed out, Zachary Thomas, plays on the offensive line. The Aztecs would like to get pressure and get it quickly to disrupt the timing, so Johnson is uncomfortable.
They show blitz, 3rd and 6. Here they come. Johnson with time, inside throw, caught there, and that's Wyatt. Holds on, 1st down, New Mexico State at the 13 of San Diego State.
This is just a pick concept where he's going to run off, he's going to come underneath, and it forces the defensive back to run the hump here, and it's just a quick, simple slant coming in underneath. That's a very accurate ball thrown into a small window. Johnson is on fire.
1st and 10 at the 13.
And that's their answer to the tighter coverage.
Lots of time. Jonah Johnson running out of it. Fires it. End zone. That's going to be incomplete. McMorris made the catch, but he was out of the end zone. Jared Wyatt, intended receiver.
As you'll see, as this play goes halfway through, there's nowhere to throw the football. Freeze it. Covered, 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 covered. Excellent. You would hope that the rush gets there. Johnson tries to get rid of the football as a prayer, buys himself time by drifting, and almost gets his football intercepted. The Aztecs won that down on the back end. Remember, a lot of young new faces there. That was a great job on 1st down.
2nd down and 10. Another blitz, quick throw, and a diving catch. Wyatt kind of sitting down to make the catch. And that's going to be about a 4-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
This offense is just throwing on rhythm. This looks like a completely different kid than the one we saw a week ago, Rich.
Yeah, well, look, Doug Martin went to the air raid because he said, 1, I love the offense, and 2, I think I can really recruit to this. 3rd down, 5.
A lot. Tighter press coverage.
Here they come. Johnson backpedals. Little soft toss. Jacinto the catch. And he is in. Touchdown. Dom Jacinto. Los Aggies! Exclamation point.
Just a beautiful route run by Jacinto. It's basically what we call a snag route, where he pretends like he's going outside, then comes underneath. And a little too little, little too late by Trenton Thompson there. What an excellent drive here by the Aggies that are about to go up by 10.
Extra point, flags down before the snap. Dom Jacinto, a slot guy with speed, which is a pretty nice thing to have.
And remember, last week he caught a beautiful football in the end zone, but his toe was on the line and it didn't count. That's a great way for him to get some confidence back.
Yeah, he may want to get his
some
dinner back after that. But that's okay. That kid, Jonah Johnson's having quite a night. And what a special night for him to come back to California as a quarterback of this team and put 10 early points up on the board against San Diego State.
Well, when you turn the football over, you give the opposition a chance, especially in the red zone. The Aggies, after struggling mightily a week ago, finally cap off a drive, and they're feeling it.
This is turning into quite a story here in Carson, California. New Mexico State, a 10-0 lead over San Diego State. And that last score, Jonah Johnson, Dom Jacinto.
Here's Jonah Johnson right here. You know that it's going to be man coverage. He's going to come up and then come underneath on what's called a snag route. When I played flag football after I retired, Rich, and was the slot receiver, this was my favorite. I put the big body on him, came back underneath. The ball wasn't thrown very well, so he had to stop and go up and get it, but the acceleration got him into the end zone.
Jacinto, 5 catches, 56 yards. Favorite target of Jonah Johnson, who was 17 of 22. And of course, you saw Bell there, who fumbled the ball that started that drive, an impressive drive, and total yards right now. Huge advantage for New Mexico State, 190 yards already, and just 68 for San Diego State. And we check in with Lindsay Rose. Lindsay?
Guys, it's still early, but it's hard to overstate just how encouraging this start is for the guys on this New Mexico State sideline. They've practically had to rebuild this program in the last year and a half. So much turnover. They had 43 guys playing their first game for this team just last week. You know that they didn't play a game last year for COVID. It was even harder than that. I'll tell you more about that after the play.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. I would expect the sideline is sky high right now as well. Play action. Brookshire will tuck it and run it and get out to the 34-yard line. That's close to the first down. Gain of 9 and back down to Lindsay.
It wasn't just that they couldn't play a football game. They couldn't practice because of local rules. They weren't allowed to be on a football field together for more than 400 days. So they were on Zoom. When they were able to get off Zoom last spring, they looked around and realized they didn't even know each other. They were in like the, hey, my name is so-and-so phase. They're building from scratch practically.
Yeah, you're right, Lindsay. The Zoom era of college football has been tough on everybody, especially this team. Bell, Chance Bell on the coverage. Lazarus Williams rises up and stops him at the 34. That's still short of the first down.
You're going to see him come and trail on the backside and squeeze all the way through. He's unaccounted for, but you saw Bellinger that was lined up there. The counter to this play, if he's going to play it that hard on the give, is to come out and pull it and either keep it himself or hit the tight end on a route.
Second down and 10. Chance Bell, or excuse me, third down and 2. Hit at the 35 and out to the 36. That should be enough for the first down.
We talked about Daniel Bellinger and being the best blocker. Tight ends, your best blockers, you want backside, but there's pressure here. Bellinger has to get his head across because that's what spooks Bell out there. Now, thankfully, he was fast enough, was able to get up the field to move the sticks, but penetration like that will kill the run game.
Chance Bell. Oh, goodness. Chance Bell swallowed up Eric Marsh, the junior out of Buckeye, Arizona.
Keep an eye on Eric Marsh. He's the guy that's filling in for Trevor Brohard, their leading tackler and their defensive signal caller. He's the one that does all the communication. You see the Aztecs going a little bit of hurry up. But my point there, with all these new faces, their best defensive player's not there, but the next guy up, Eric Marsh, is making plays.
And still no rhythm or success in the throwing game for San Diego State.
Have they attempted a downfield pass yet?
Brookshire now 2 of 7, 15 yards.
Their longest completion is to Bellinger, and it was a 10-yard pass. They haven't attempted anything downfield.
And this is 3rd down and 12. A 4-receiver look. Bellinger in the slot to the sidelines. It's caught. That's Kobe Smith, but he's well short of the 1st down on 3rd down and 12. And he actually was bobbling the ball, and they're going to call it incomplete.
And I don't even know why they're running that route there. With 3rd and 12, why are you running a route to the sideline that doesn't give you a chance to run after the catch in 3rd and long?
Quite honestly, the Aztecs look in disarray right now.
There's no question about it. On both sides of the football, you've got a young secondary that's getting torched, and you got an offense that, again, is picking up where it left off a year ago, not being able to throw the football forward.
Ariza has a couple of long kicks of 62 and 55. Ball is loose and batted out of bounds. And a flag may come down for that. On one hand, it's a penalty, but on the other hand, I think it's a great play just to get that thing out of bounds.
There's no question about that, Rich. That is a very smart heads-up play. He doesn't do a good job fielding, and he takes his eyes down, but he has the wherewithal to know where it's at. He's not allowed to bat it, but the Aztecs weren't able to recover. So it's kind of a minus and a plus on the same play.
Because if he tries to corral that, he keeps it in.
We have an illegal bat on number 4 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st down. Timeout.
Wow, New Mexico State a 10-0 lead in the 1st half.
Back in Carson, California, New Mexico State with a 10-0 lead over San Diego State. Time now for your Step Up Your Game, brought to you by Werner Ladder. With a look at New Mexico State's Sage Dockstader, their left tackle, back for a 6th year in Las Cruces, trying to grab the eye of NFL scouts. He was drafted in the 2nd round of the CFL draft last spring, but he's got his heart set on playing in the NFL, something that his coaches very much think he is capable of doing. They went with him for a few days this past summer to the O-Line Mastermind Summit with some of the best college and NFL guys around. Essentially, they all gather and share trade secrets on how to stop a Khalil Mack or a Chase Young, where your eyes should go on a pass block, where they put their hands on a run block. It's a great program, Rich, very beneficial for Sage, and I know Aaron's really familiar with it as well.
There's no question about that. There's nothing like it of its kind in the country.
And he's matched up against a pretty good defensive lineman in Cameron Thomas. Another short pass, and Jacinto, who's been the center of attention all night long, holds on, gets about 6 hard-earned yards, and this offense is churning up yardage. Jonah Johnson has been accurate all night.
And he's, as we take a look at Dockstader again, he's one of the most experienced linemen in the country. 42 games played, 39 career starts. Got married this summer, got drafted to the Canadian League, as Lindsay pointed out. He's a player with a lot of raw traits that can help an NFL team next season.
Price bounces outside, and he was drafted and said no by the CFL.
I love it. He's got his eyes set on the NFL. This is a kid that grew up and had never played football, and he basically went to boarding school, got an opportunity, and found out that he loved it. And because he's got that big old body at 6'7" and a svelte 340 pounds, he's custom built to be able to do what you need to do on the next level. He's raw. He's got to develop a little bit, but he's got a chance. This is 3rd down. This is a down that San Diego needs to win. Are they going to dial up pressure or play coverage here?
They bring 4. Johnson in the pocket and throws into space, and there's nobody there. Jacinto was the nearest receiver. rare misfire. That may have been a route that turned the wrong way. San Diego State going to get the football back.
Yeah, something was off there. That's the second time we've seen some miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back. That ball was thrown to no man's land. Somebody zigged when they were supposed to zag. And now the Aztecs are about to get the ball back at midfield.
Carlson to punt. Low snap, high punt. Fair catch called for and made. Jordan Bird hangs on. Aztecs try to get their offense going. This was to be a tune-up for San Diego State. Next week they go to Arizona. Right now New Mexico State on top, and it's been mistakes for San Diego State.
It certainly has, and it started right out of the gate offensively, where Brookshire on a third down play gets sacked and almost fumbles the football, but that's not the way you want to start. He double clutches there, a little bit of off timing with pressure in his face, and then their bell cow fumbles deep inside the red zone, and the Aggies would take that drive all the way down the field and hit Dominic Jacinto for the touchdown. But look at that, Rich. Only 77 yards. The offense really needs to step it up.
And I don't know that this all rests on Jordan Brookshire's shoulders.
There's no question. It goes across the board. The turnovers, the receivers not being able to get themselves open, but I would like to see some vertical pass plays called as well.
1st and 10. Pitch to Greg Bell. Gets outside. Burst of speed. Cross midfield. And 13 or 14 yards later, with help from Zachary Thomas, William Dunkel, Alama Uluave, Chris Martinez, first down.
This is the second time we've seen him get out in space on a toss sweep, a pin and pull. You're pulling your offensive lineman out to the outside edge. We used to call that a bob play to the play side. He's got that speed to get to the outside edge. There's no question the best part of this offense is the way that they run the football.
And
is it going to be enough to help them overcome this 10-point deficit?
This is Jesse Matthews on a reverse. He's going to get about 6 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. Good pursuit there. Eric Marsh on the hit.
I like the change up here. You're working the perimeter a little bit. Being able to get yourself to the outside edge, you're basically running into the boundary. And Matthews, we know he has speed. That's a tendency breaker and could come back to help them if they can run some play action and deep shots off of it.
Matthews, a junior, San Diego native. 2nd down 4. Oof. Greg Bell, you can hear the pads pop. Josh Ferguson came up along with Lazarus Williams to make the hit on the senior out of Albuquerque.
I love the way this young man runs behind his pads. This is his 12th carry of the night. Listen to this. That's football, baby. The coaching staff, including offensive coordinator Jeff Heklinski, said they wanted 15 touches. He's already at 12.
3rd down and a little more than a yard. Flag down. That could change the whole equation here.
Ball start. Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
At that point, at 3rd and a little more than a yard, you're thinking this might be 4-down territory. But now it's backed up and it's 3rd down and about 6, maybe 7.
There's another costly mistake. Bellinger, the good blocker, they're using him on the play side here just a little bit early. But again, that can be a function of the first time in a real live game, but it's unacceptable with what's at stake.
So 3rd down and 6. Blitz comes. Brookshire's throw is incomplete. Boy, flying up, and a flag is down. Matthews, the intended receiver. Caleb Mills came flying up with the hit. And the officials are huddled. We have to see if this is legal or not.
Remember, they're already without Chris Bell. So if Caleb Mills, who's playing in his stead, goes out, I guess the timing's...
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's a big call.
The previous play is under further review.
Remember, the receiver is a defenseless target, so it's forcible contact to the head or neck area, and it looks like he uses the crown of his helmet there.
Was there immediate contact with the helmets, or? And I think the officials are going to review this. This is reviewable once it's called. We've had a few different looks.
It's really important that we get these sorts of things right to make the game safer. Just an incredible catch by Matthews.
I don't know that his helmet.
I'm with you.
I don't think the helmet's hit.
It touches at the very last moment, but I don't know if it's forcible. But I'm with you. But remember, the call on the field is targeting, so it's either confirmed or not. There. Talk about the 3 different elements that must be present. The indicators of a launch, leaving your feet, throwing an elbow, if you will.
And that guy, you know, we talked about Chris Bell, and he's out for the first half for targeting last week. They obviously don't want to lose another one of their defensive backs.
To me, there wasn't a launch there. That was a bang-bang play that Mills was trying to react to. Now, because of the position that Matthews' body was in, well, his forearms are up a little bit there, and the crown of his helmet does look down. I think this is going to be confirmed.
But the ball is where his forearm is as well. I mean, it's so hard. Look, we're watching this in super slow motion. I can't imagine being a defensive back trying to come in and make a play. And unfortunately, that microphone is malfunctioned all night long.
4th down.
There was no targeting on the play. It's 4th down.
So no targeting.
That was close. That was worth and worthy of that review. That's a player just trying to play football. The receiver's body was contorted. And Mills is awfully happy that he gets to stay in the ball game, rightfully so.
So that goes from a near disaster to a great play.
No doubt.
And that guy will be back in the second half. He knows that feeling.
And again, another dropped.
So since they originally called it targeting, they reversed the call.
That was the first time that the Aztecs attempted to push the ball downfield. The pass was off target, forcing Matthews to contort. He made a great effort to try to catch the football, just simply couldn't hold on to it.
Ariza, this time trying for an end-over-end checkup, and it's into the end zone. New Mexico State with 5 minutes left in the first half. Didn't play all of last year. Were beaten badly in week 1, and here they are on top, 10-0. We are in Carson, California, temporary home for San Diego State, and New Mexico State looks right at home in the big city. A 10-0 lead over the highly favored Aztecs, and Jonah Johnson has been splendid. 18 of 24 for those 164 yards. A touchdown and no interceptions. From the 20-yard line. 5 minutes left first half. Warner in motion. Johnson in the pocket. Unloads, shorts, and incomplete. Robert Downs, the third intended receiver.
That's another example of him missing a receiver backside. He had Terrell Warner on a shallow cross wide open out in the right flat.
This is an air raid. They've had to really build this program again after missing all of last year. 400 days, no practice. 43 first-year players on this team.
It's incredible.
A lot of them junior college players who haven't been in the program very long at all. Johnson fires, sideline there, caught, nice move. That's Downs, and he fights his way out to the 28-yard line. This will bring up 3rd down and manageable, about 3rd down and 3.
And that's a great example of Johnson's big, strong arm. It's an out to the far hash, right? He's on the right hash, he's throwing to the field, and he puts some mustard on that football into tight coverage. Because he gets the football there quickly, the receiver's able to elude the pursuit.
Aztecs have tried to get to Johnson. without a lot of success. Here they come. Little slant, and that one went right through the hands of Jacinto. He was open. That was enough for the first down. Not sure if he was screened or the ball was tipped.
They were stacked there. Looked like he got a little bit of short-armed there.
Oh, that's right there.
He's got to be able to make that catch. That's unfortunate because you're going to give the ball back to this Aztec team with good field position, plenty of time, especially what this does with over 4 minutes left here at the end of the second quarter. It allows them to stay with their bread and butter run game, which has been working pretty effectively.
Jacinto has 6 catches for 61 yards. Whoa, that was almost a disaster. A rugby-style kick that was almost blocked. Jordan Bird fields the punt. And I think Josh Carlson went a little further than he wanted to here. No flag. We're getting close to halftime, which means our Verizon halftime report, Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter, have you covered. Exciting week 1 of college football. This is actually week 2, but we call week 1 week 0 now, and this week 1 because there are a few games played last week. You and I got a chance to see Fresno State last week. Play action. Brookshire plants, fires, deep ball, and just out of the outstretched arms. The dive there. Elijah Cody, the intended receiver. He's a big target, 6'4", 210.
He is. He's almost built like a tight end. He had 16 yards per carry last year, led the team. He was their vertical stretch. I like their decision to be able to take that, but it took them almost 2 full quarters to finally throw one of those. If you can connect or at least get the defense to respect that, that opens the run game up tremendously.
2nd down and 10. Pitch. Greg Bell, nothing. In fact, he's going to lose 3 yards. And look out.
There's Dunkel.
Dunkel. He's got a bench on top of him. He's got a player underneath him. The Gatorade rack is tangled up as well. And I don't know if that was a late hit. There is a flag down. And so we're going to see if this is a late hit on the defense or on Dunkel.
I think it's going to be a personal foul on Dunkel. He's the alpha dog.
I got 4 bars, 3 bars.
What we call that in the O-line business is playing through the echo of the whistle. There's Dunkel right there, coming across right here, and he sticks with it.
That's blatant.
Yep.
That's almost ejection worthy.
I agree. I love guys that play physically, but it's in his back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. 23, 15-yard penalty. 2nd down. That's number 78's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
He got the number wrong there. He said 78. He meant 73. And the distinction there is you only get 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties before you're ejected. So Dunkel's on the clock, if you will. But that's just a foolish penalty. When your offense is struggling the way that it is, you can ill afford to do that. If you want to be tough, do it during the whistle, between the hash marks. You love the way that this young man plays the game, but that was a foolish decision that just cost his offense big time.
And now it's 3rd down and forever.
With an offense that is struggling to throw the forward pass. And because it's 3rd and forever, there's probably not going to be any pressure, which means your screen game probably goes away here as well.
And the officials, I think, are checking. It should be 3rd down because that foul happened after the play, correct?
Yes, and I think what they're looking at, though, is the spot of the ball.
Does it go from spot of foul? This is actually going to work out in New Mexico State's favor. This is going to back San Diego State up even further.
There's no question. And great job by the officials of getting this right. It's still 3rd down. So that penalty was enforced at the end of the run, so they had to change the spot, and all is well in the world.
So 3rd down and forever becomes 3rd down and 29 now. Brookshire scrambles, squared up, He's got a long way to go, and he's caught at the 35-yard line. And that's Dunkel, who's
out.
got another
He's
flag.
out.
Dunkel just buried a defender after the whistle.
He's out.
This is unbelievable. 2 flags came down. The New Mexico State coaches right now need to get their players away so that nothing escalates here.
So the play before that, Dunkel got his first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. You're allowed 2 before you're ejected from the game. My guess is, based on what I saw in real time and him pile driving the player after the play right in front of the official, that's going to be his second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And what that means is the most physical run blocker on this team, the alpha dog on that offensive line, is going to have to leave the game.
The play is dead. Dunkel, a decleater there, but then he piles on. And again, we apologize that the official's microphone is not functioning. It's not our issue, but we're trying to help, and all we can do is read lips. Here's the end of the play again.
Good football play right there. Take your decleater, feel good about it. That's defensive end Michael Bowe. But that little extra business right there, pile driving him when he's on the ground, is selfish. Be tough during the whistle, not after it.
And the problem with the official's microphone, there was no announcement that we could hear if he was ejected or not, but we suspect he was. Ariza, this is a booming punt. My goodness. He had a 63-yarder early in the half. That's all the way inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. That's almost an 80-yard punt.
And we have an important clarification. We did get clarity on the Dunkel penalty. It was not an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. It was a personal foul. Because of that, because it was a live play, he's allowed to stay in the ball game. Again, we apologize for the officials' microphones not working, but that's a great job by the crew to be able to get clarification, especially for such an important player.
Do you think it was a live play, though?
I don't. I think it was dead, and that's why I fully expected him to be ejected.
All right, Jonah Johnson in New Mexico State on the great kick by Ariza. Johnson's going to keep it. He's going nowhere. He'll get back to the 2. It'll be second down and about 10. Now here's the residual effect of the Dunkel situation. Things are going to get chippy. New Mexico State doesn't like what they've seen. They have to hold back their emotions so that they don't get penalized.
There's no question, but the momentum is all right now with the Aztecs because of that great punt by Ariza inside the 5-yard line. The statistics say that if the Aggies don't convert and get a first down here, the chances of San Diego State scoring on the next possession, which they've got plenty of time for, is over 80%. This is a really important couple downs here for the Aggies.
Second down 10. Johnson in his end zone. That's in and out of the hands of Jacinto. Third down and 10. 2:23 left in this first half. San Diego State has all 3 of their timeouts. And so they can get the ball back in good field position and have plenty of timeouts to work with.
Because of the location on the field, Rich, I'd really like to see defensive coordinator Curtin Addix dial up the pressure. You know they want to get this ball out quickly. Press the receivers, reroute them, and let your rush get to the quarterback.
They're down in 10. Johnson in his end zone. Loads up. Deep ball. That's Wyatt. He's there, and he makes the catch with contact. Holds on at the 46-yard line. Wow.
Here he is at the bottom of the screen. It was press bail. And you see number 17 there, Noah Abinger, just didn't defend it extremely well. The ball just floated up there in the air. Great concentration there by Wyatt to pull this pass in to have a chance to score here at the end of the second quarter.
And that erases all the momentum of the Ariza punt.
Gone. This stadium just turned flat.
from the 45. Price straight ahead. Now, New Mexico State, with the clock at their advantage, they have 2 timeouts left as they approach midfield. Their kicker, Ethan Albertson, has a big leg. 52 yards is within range.
Now you started saying that sentence at about 1:56, and now it's 1:31. They're just letting it tick. They do have 2 timeouts, but they've got to be very careful here because the nature of this offense, if they get tackled in bounds, those timeouts are going to run out quickly.
4-man front, they all come. Johnson, sideline, and almost intercepted. Boy, that was Noah Avenger, who left the game early with an injury, is back in, and that was almost an acrobatic pick.
Caden McDonald off that backside right there, beats the running back and almost gets to the quarterback. The errant throw, and Avenger almost makes up for that big pass he gave up by getting an interception. Aggies got to be careful here with ball security.
Where do you go on 3rd down and 8 if you're New Mexico State?
Trying to get the ball to Dominic Jacinto. He's been the go-to target. He's the guy that you want to try to feed.
Jacinto, top of your screen. Johnson, blitz comes, unloaded, caught, and that is Jacinto. Midfield, clock continues, as you pointed out. A minute left, 2 timeouts left.
And San Diego State with 3 timeouts needs to think about using one, and they do. That shallow cross, San Diego State was sitting on it, and that was beautiful. That's the problem with this offense, with those shallow crosses. You get tackled in bounds.
Second time that Jacinto has come to the sideline. Remember, it was the elbow early in the first, but right now they are looking at that wrist, it looks like.
Got slammed to the ground pretty hard by Patrick McMorris.
Remember, they're without Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, one of their top receivers who's out with COVID issues. And now Jacinto, who's their leading receiver tonight, that's his 7th catch, almost 70 yards.
These kids are worried themselves right when he got up that something wasn't right. Now they're putting it in an air cast. That is not a good sign for the receiver that has been lights out in this first half.
And New Mexico State will punt. Jordan Bird is deep.
Now, Jordan Bird is an electrifying returner. The Aztecs would love nothing more than to get a big return here and spark some juice into this offense.
They come after it, and they almost got it. Boy, 3 men ran right by the punter, and that's out of bounds.
Great job by the punter, check kicking that to get it off before it could get blocked.
I don't know how he got it off. There were 3 men in his face, 49 seconds. Here's a look. Watch the 3 Aztecs.
So close. Great job by him. Great job by the snap getting back in time. That's great execution there. And the Aztecs, we saw the very first punt of the game, the Aztecs almost blocked. They're going to get one of those before it's over if the Aggies don't shore that up. All right, Rich, you got 49 seconds and 2 timeouts now, and you can't throw the football. There's going to be a screen or a draw in here at some point, but that's basically waving the white flag.
I don't know what that was, but it wasn't good. Brookshire goes down, and this note, William Dunkel not in the game. Joey Capra lined up at that right guard spot.
I got to tell you, I really liked watching Joey Capra. He's got some stuff to him. When he was practicing, his brother was an offensive lineman, came down from Oregon, but the Aztecs still with their 2 timeouts, and it was New Mexico State using one to make sure that they can talk about what they want to accomplish defensively.
43 seconds left, 2nd and 9. Goes as a sack, I would expect. 2nd down. Actually, it was across the line of scrimmage. It's second and 9.
Yeah,
they marked it at the 21.
2nd and 9.9. But if the Aztecs aren't careful here, they're going to give the Aggies back the ball with good field position and plenty of time.
Brookshire stands in, fires, caught, and dropped. Dado had it. And he had a lot of room, and he couldn't squeeze it.
Drops were one of the problems for this offense a season ago. That's unacceptable. That's the third or fourth dropped pass that we've seen. And that's a catch that Dato's made in practice 100 times. But it's interesting that the Aztecs are looking kind of lifeless offensively, like we saw this Aggie team look last week against UTEP.
That's going to be close to the first down.
That's going to get it.
And Kagan Williams, it's right on the sticks.
They've still got 2 timeouts. If they're going to make a play for this, the clock's going to stop till they can get the chains reset and then move on the ready to play.
Brookshire scrambling, has a lot of room in front, fires it down the sideline, man wide open. That's caught. That's Kobe Smith. And Smith is inside the 30. There's 20 seconds left. And a flag is down back at the 25-yard line. And this is coming back.
Oh, man. When it rains, it pours for this Aztec offense. Finally, they get something going
Holding.
offensively.
Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So William Dunkel's not in the game at the right guard position, and this is the left guard, Chris Martinez, that gets called for holding.
64.
Good position there, but that left hand's inside, and right there, he does not allow the defensive lineman to disengage. And it's unfortunate because DJ McCullough, the cornerback for New Mexico State, gave up on that play and got beat.
So it's 1st and 20. 20 seconds left. Brookshire, and he's swallowed up and sacked. Back at the 14-yard line. Justin Segura enjoying that moment, the sophomore out of Scottsdale.
And this is just straight effort. Here's Segura right here. Keep an eye on him. He gets double teamed, but he keeps coming. Fights through, pushes through, and finishes the play. That is tremendous effort and a great way to end this first half for the Aggies.
And you can hear the Aztec crowd not happy right now. New Mexico State on the road and on top, and a 10-0 lead over San Diego State. This is eye-opening. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Stick around. Verizon Halftime Report is next. Well, the Aztecs will get a chance. Brady Hoke's halftime speech, I'm sure, was spirited and pointed. And we'll see if it's effective, because they're going to touch the football to start this half. That's a line drive that rolls out of bounds. That's a costly kick that will end up out at the 35-yard line. And we check in with Lindsey Rhodes. Lindsey?
Well, Anthony Hope has potential quarterback change, and he told me we're going to keep going with our guy and we'll see what happens. Not exactly a resounding endorsement, but he will be the first quarterback that we see on the field for San Diego State to start the second half. We're going to see Dunkel again, by the way. He was not ejected, as you mentioned, at the end of the first half. He was taken out for coach's decision, but he's going to let him play here. As for New Mexico State, Dom Jacinto, they're afraid he broke his arm. They took him in to get x-rays. I'll pass along the results as soon as I get them.
All right, thank you. Doug Martin, the head coach at New Mexico State, also the offensive coordinator. And William Dunkel is in there right now. Joey Capper replaced him for that last drive of the first half after picking up an unsportsmanlike and a personal foul, but he avoided an ejection, and that is Jordan Bird with a terrific catch and a great move and across the 40, and he's still alive. He may have stepped out of bounds, although the official is going to mark it inside New Mexico State territory. That is quite a play.
They talk about football being a game of inches. You're going to see him come in motion and then come back out on just a little flare pass right here. The cornerback reads it right away, plays it extremely well, but a great job by Murd making him miss. And then there's some great blocks and open field running for the big game.
Into Aggie territory. Brookshire, play action, in trouble, escapes, throws on the run, man wide open, caught there. That's Kobe Smith. And the Aztecs have life and Brookshire is on the money.
They struggled throwing the football in the first half. Credit offensive coordinator Jeff Heklinski for going and dialing up deep passes. He throws a screen on first down, and great job by Brookshire of evading the rush that showed up right away and finding an open receiver, throwing the football extremely accurately on the move.
There's Heklinski, second year. And 1st and 10, ball to 23.
That's the way to come out at halftime and respond so far.
It's Kagan Williams in motion with Bell in the backfield. This is Greg Bell. Breaks through. He's 10. He's 5. Touchdown, Aztecs. "23 yards, and just like that, San Diego State makes a statement.
That is an incredible response. Keep your eye on the center right here. They run a 3-3 stack. There's only 5 people in the box there. Just a great job by Dunkel, the right guard in the center, creating the space inside to get the quick touchdown to open the second half.
A rise of the point. Blink and you missed it. San Diego State, first possession, second half. They stick it in the end zone.
Well, when you go back to the bread and butter, you finish the drive, but this drive opened with a couple vertical passes. The Aztecs finding a way to get this second half jump-started. Welcome back to Carson, where the Aztecs, who were largely lifeless in the first half, go to the pass game. Jordan Bird using some great open field tackling to get this drive started. And then the quarterback, Jordan Brookshire, evading the rush and being able to throw the football accurately on the move. And then it was Greg Bell that did the rest of that big offensive line. This is complementary football, something that had been elusive for 2 quarters for the Aztecs.
Bell with that touchdown, 2 quarters of offense, 139 total yards in that first half. That's it. 65 yards on that very brief drive to stick it in the end zone. And that one goes through the end zone. New Mexico State gets it at the 25. All right, Sunday NFL on CBS regular season kicks off. Fantastic doubleheader. Early action, Steelers, Bills, Jets also in action. Pay attention to that Cardinal-Titan game as well, 4:25 Eastern, Browns and Chiefs, because Cardinals-Titans, my man Aaron Taylor on the call, back in the league. And Luke Barku, one of 4 San Diego State defensive backs in the National Football League.
Yeah, and he's one of the players that has a long history here on the Mesa of being playmakers, and that's really one of the things we'll get to here in a second.
Deflected ball, and it's intercepted. Michael Shawcroft takes the deflection with the pick. And San Diego State turns over the Aggies.
We talked about the pressure being close, but no cigar. This time, the offense leads the charge and getting things going, but it's the defensive line and the pressure that forced the errant pass that got tipped and intercepted.
My goodness, what a turn of events.
Man, what was that halftime speech like?
It must have been a good one. 65-yard drive.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, San Diego State, number 10, 15-yard penalty, first down. This is the first unsportsmanlike conduct
here. This is going to be a stunt. And I believe that that's Cameron Thomas coming around. Beats Sage Doxtatter right there to get the errant throw. And then Keyshawn Banks gets the tip to finally Michael Shawcroft to come down with the interception. He had a sack earlier. That's 2 levels of the defense getting after it. And then you see the excessive celebration by Noah Tumblin for the penalty. But my gosh, Rich, you want to talk about a turn of events, how the momentum has swung.
Backs it up to the 34. Brookshire play action. Steps into it. Fires in out. And it's picked off. Caleb Mills for New Mexico State. Back and forth. What a wild minute and a half to start this second half.
Man, it's coming back. Here's Bellinger. He's going to come across, and I think he gets himself open late. He's wide open there, but instead, the ball is thrown into triple coverage by Brookshire. He had his open tight ends to the left side of the field, and instead gives the ball right back to the Aggies.
Caleb Mills, a converted wide receiver, making a wide receiver type interception.
This is an extremely young secondary, to your point. They had to go and recruit receivers because of all the changes.
Jawan Price is wrapped up by Andrew Alecki. And now New Mexico State, who still has the lead, tries to settle down. Johnson picked off on the deflected throw. A gain of 4, second down and 6.
Look at the pressure now. The tighter coverage up top. This is exactly what I think they should have done in the first half. This is a young secondary, a lot of new faces. But if they want to win this game, they've got to be more aggressive.
Johnson, time over the middle. Good play there. The catch by Warner. And it's Noah Tumblin who stops him before the first down. It'll bring up third down and about 2.
And this young secondary that lost its top 3 tacklers from a year ago, all defensive backs, Dwayne Johnson, Darren Hall, Tariq Thompson. Trenton Thompson is the old man back here. This defense has been soft. The coaching staff hasn't allowed them to play physically and press coverage. They've got to take away those short underneath passes and trust these guys a bit.
This feels like a big third down and 2. Johnson fires sideline on the money with the catch. That's Harity, and he's got the first down for New Mexico State.
Great concept there, bringing Harity across in motion. Defensive backs tried to rotate over to him. The coverage was late, and it was just a simple pitch and catch to move the sticks. Jonah Johnson is above this offense. He really seems in control right now.
And no Dom Jacinto out there for New Mexico State. Harity the catch, and quickly taken off his feet. But that's another positive play. This is an air raid offense. They don't care if they throw it 5 yards or 25 yards. They're just going to throw it.
Doug Martin told us that they want to throw it. They want 75 plays a game offensively, and they want 40 of those to be passes. I'm like, are you sure you don't mean 60 or 65? The air raid likes to chuck it all over the place and occasionally run just to keep the defense honest.
They're at 47 plays right now. Nice gain there by Omari Samuels. And that's another 3, maybe 4 yards. Brings up a short third down again. 35 attempts for Johnson, 24 completions. So they're on target to match his numbers and his projections.
There's no question, and third down is one of the areas that San Diego State excelled in a year ago. They were 6th in the country, only allowing 30% conversions. But Jonah Johnson, because of his quick delivery, is having some success here.
5 of 12 on third down are the Aggies. And Johnson's going to keep it. He runs into one man, runs into another, still on his feet, but he's going to be short of the first down, and the Aztecs defense stiffens. Jonah Tavai, the first to hit him.
Jonah Tavai's the big nose tackle. Your job is to eat up blockers, to reset the line of scrimmage. He's right here. Keep your eye on him. He's going to try to get blocked by 2 players, but he fights through and right there scrapes across. He doesn't make the tackle, but he slows the quarterback up just enough so the pursuit can get there. That is outstanding nose tackle play.
4th down. Punt team on. Josh Carlson. Dangerous man deep.
Ooh, they are so close.
Fair catch called for.
Oh.
And dropped and picked up by New Mexico State. Oh, goodness.
Look at that. You see Trenton Thompson getting in his ear. You got to be careful in these situations when things aren't going well. It's important to stay positive and not get frustrated. That was not executed and handled well, but you don't want to make things worse by getting on your teammate. Just an unfortunate situation there.
I think that is Michael Bowe with the recovery.
That was Malone there that was unaware of where Bird
Ruling on the
was.
field is that the ball was muffed, recovered by the New Mexico State. First down.
God, man, what an incredible start to this third quarter, buddy. There's been a lot of good and a lot of bad.
There are 2 number 6s on the roster, so it may have been Justice Powers. Both number 6s are about the same size.
This is a day where we saw Tulane almost beat Oklahoma. Fresno State taking Oregon to the wire. Northern Iowa almost beating Iowa State. Montana beat Washington. San Jose State hung with USC for quite a while. These Aggies smell blood. If San Diego State's not careful, they're going to give this ball game away.
At the 43 of San Diego State. Little option reverse on the pitch. Warner is caught behind the line of scrimmage. And McMorris and Shawcroft were there to run him down.
Just an incredible job by McMorris. Here he is here. Watch him trigger when he sees this. He fires. Look at that. Closing the distance. Gets on his outside hip to force him inside. That's an incredible open field tackle. If Wyatt's able to make him miss, he could still be running.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Time for Johnson. Big throw downfield. Wyatt broken up. Noah Tumlin got a hand on it. Wyatt, a big receiver at 6'2", 200. Tumlin matches him at 6'2" as well.
This is excellent position. Tumlin gets his head turned around. He's in phase, gets that left hand up and knocks it away at the last moment. If he doesn't turn his head, he's not going to be able to see that. But because he was in the receiver's hip pocket, he got a PBU. 3rd and long is where you want it. The Aztecs look like they're playing coverage.
3-man front. Johnson's throw. Harity the catch, but it pops out on the hit by Trenton Thompson. And this is going to be a long 4th down and a punt situation for the Aggies.
This young secondary that I felt struggled early on in this first half of this ball game has really shown up here to start the 3rd quarter. Led by their leader. That is textbook Hawk tackling right there. Gets his head out of the game, puts his shoulder on him, and brings him to the ground. That's the type of veteran play you need on the back end.
Well, let's see if Jordan Bird can squeeze this one. He's been a great punt returner in his time. Fair catch called for, and he makes it at the 13-yard line. So the Aztecs avoid a disaster on the drop punt. Their defense bails them out. And San Diego State's offense has 7 already in this 3rd quarter. They get the football when we return. Preseason All-American from North Dakota, by the way. Here it is, 10-7. New Mexico State leading San Diego State. This is Carson, California, home of the LA Galaxy soccer team, temporary home of the Chargers. And San Diego State, for the 2nd year playing here, their new stadium will be ready for opening night next year on September 3rd. They open against Arizona in that new stadium. Torrey Union with the stop on Greg Bell. New Mexico State held a 10-0 halftime lead. San Diego State has scored, but trails by 3.
Greg Bell was off to one of the best starts in San Diego history last year. Had a school record 4 straight 100-yard rushing games to start the season.
He's off to 100 yards here, 100 and about 15 now on carry number 15 of the night. Michael Bowe made the stop, and we are happy to confirm that it was Bowe who made the recovery on that muffed punt, and duly noted that the difference between Bowe number 6 and Justice Powers, also number 6, longer hair for Bowe. So we've noted that on the spotting boards, and we move forward.
That is great sports information.
Bell again. I know that he's run for over 100 yards. In fact, he's close to 120 yards. But you have to really give it to this New Mexico State defense, who last week gave up a ton of points to UTEP, but has held San Diego State to just the 7.
They've done an incredible job. Just an incredible rebound from where they were. They picked themselves up off the mat. They're playing physically. Eric Marsh, who's playing for the Trevor Brohard, who's in COVID protocol, has been playing great, and now they're smoking stuff out like this. This defense is playing marvelously.
Chris Ojo, the transfer from Eastern Washington University, who had a big win a couple nights ago, and Ojo wraps up Busby, and that's a loss of yardage. This is going to be 3rd down and almost 15.
Yeah, that's a screen play. They were expecting pressure, but Ojo sniffed it out. They were a play ahead there. The offensive line has to check the play side linebacker to make sure that exactly that doesn't happen.
Now this is 3rd down and 14. On the 21, Jordan Brookshire steps up, lots of time and room, and it's incomplete. Busby was the receiver. He went into a slide, but there was heat coming from the top of that defense.
Well, that was a drop 8 situation where they only rushed 3, but again, the vertical pass downfield being errant, and the Aztecs went the wrong way on their most recent series. And that's the problem with those turnovers and miscues. It just takes away all of your momentum and keeps a team that's ahead by 3 in the game.
4th down, long punt. Boy, Ariza has just had a marvelous night.
Super low.
This is Downs trying to get outside. Ooh, he stood up and dropped. Ball's loose. San Diego State thinks they have it. It's right in their sideline. Both teams jockeying for it. And I think that's going to be New Mexico State's ball. The officials have not made a signal yet. But this is a late call here. There it is. New Mexico State with the football.
That was Daniel Bellinger, the tight end, that was in on that. They've got so many of their starters on special teams, but it's right there at the very end.
New Mexico State hangs on to the football.
Ruling on
and
the field.
so far hangs on to the lead.
Recovered by the receiving team. 1st down, New Mexico State.
Matt Ariza is a place kicker, now punting. He's having one of the great punting nights in San Diego State history. He's averaging 56 yards a punt, 4 punts over 50 yards, including a 77-yarder. Now that time, New Mexico State didn't turn it over, but San Diego State has turned it over a few times tonight.
Unfortunately, and it's their bell cow, Greg Bell, that started the thing off, fumbling. Unfortunately, inside the red zone for the Aztecs, and then just an errant throw by Jordan Brookshire, and then just miscommunication. Peter, get yourself away from the football. A muff punt recovered by the Aggies. And once again, Brady Hoke's team, with 3 turnovers, is losing the battle.
Whoever decided to yell Peter for a loose punt? Why not Paul? Why not Billy? Why not Johnny? Why did Peter get involved in this?
I'll tell you a commercial.
All right. I can't wait. But I mean, I did it as well, and I didn't ask questions.
That's right.
I just yelled, Peter, get out of the way.
It was good that you did not ask those questions.
It's 1st and 10. Ball at the 27-yard line. New Mexico State with the lead and the possession. Midway through 3rd quarter. Johnson. That's wide open. That's Terrell Warner, and Warner has 8 yards, and he's blistered, but holds on to the football. And New Mexico State will take those 8 yards and say thank you much and line right back up in the air raid offense.
You saw those shallow crossers. That's the mesh concept, where you have the 2 inside receivers crisscross. It's very hard to defend that in either quarters coverage or man coverage because of how far they run across the field.
2nd down 1. This offensive line, who hasn't played a football game until last week for over a year, has been marvelous tonight for New Mexico State. And that's Jawan Price spinning away from Segun Alubi, who finally brings him down. 1st down.
Take a look at Sage Dockstader right here with all the movement. He keeps his shoulders square, and is able to pin the looping defensive end. That is extremely hard to do. Corey White, the offensive line coach, does an excellent job, and we just saw it there.
Sage Doxtatter, that left tackle, has held up under Cameron Thomas's rush. That's not a bad throw at all, and Wyatt couldn't bring it in. But Jonah Johnson has shown poise and accuracy all night.
I'm blown away by how well he's playing here tonight. Watching the tape last week, there were 5-6 shots where there were touchdowns. All he had to do was complete the football. All he had to do was to get to his second or third read backside. But he's hitting those throws tonight.
Second down 10. Jawan Price in the backfield. San Diego State shows blitz. Here they come. Out and intercepted. Terrific. Taylor Hawkins, the senior. Johnson was hit. He got the ball out, and Hawkins got the ball before Harity or Wyatt could get it. And a big turnover for San Diego State.
Here he is up top. This is just a faith throw, a 50-50 ball. If he's even, he's leaving. And Taylor Hawkins just does a good job of turning his eyes back and turns into the receiver and plucks the ball out of the air. Because there was pressure in Johnson's face, he wasn't able to step into that football. There wasn't enough air in it, and Hawkins made him pay. It's another example where the front end of pressure really helped the secondary there.
San Diego State now, and again, this New Mexico State defense. Justin Segura made that stop. They played better in the second half against UTEP, but that was not a close game. That was somewhat of a blowout for UTEP, and that was last week. And so you thought coming in, San Diego State, huge favorites here, that this would be somewhat of a tune-up, and it has not been. Brookshire hit. Throw is caught. That's Busby in traffic. He's across midfield, and he's down to the 47-yard line of New Mexico State.
Here's Busby here. Watch the safety come. He overruns it, tries to jam him, and just sits there right in the hole of the zone defense. That was beautiful. And look at the Aztecs here, Rich. In the second half, they are pushing the ball downfield, and I guarantee you that is about to open up the run game for them.
You know, Greg Bell already has 117 yards on the ground. Brookshire. And he's going to tuck it and get hit. He's going to gain about 3 yards, but he probably is going to gain a few bruises on the way.
Oh, man.
He's a tough kid, though.
Yes,
6'2",
he is.
215.
Didn't look all that smooth. He had the check down. He elected not to throw it. Boom, he could have pulled the trigger right there. He checks it, decides to get north and south. And if you're going to pull it, that's what you do. Puncture the defense.
Michael Bowe, the senior out of Plantation, Florida, made the hit. Another ball through the hands. B.J. Busby.
That's unacceptable. You cannot do that as a wide receiver. That's 3 dropped passes that are right in the breadbasket. Brookshire's trying to deliver that football, Rich. I'm sorry. It's so frustrating offensively if you hit a guy in his numbers and he can't catch it.
Chance Bell in the backfield. And instead of a first down, this is 3rd down and 7.
Bell is a receiving target. There he goes.
Just a 3-man rush. Brookshire has all night to throw, and he misses. That's going to be a flag all over the field. There are like 6 penalty flags down. DJ McCullough, the pass was incomplete, and McCullough with a hit. Chance Bell was the receiver. And this is going to be, I would guess, targeting. Defenseless receiver.
I don't think that's targeting, partner. I think it is going to be a personal.
A defenseless player hit. The right forearm under the chin. He didn't lead with the helmet. But you can't take a shot at a player like that anymore.
Remember, there's
Dead ball, personal foul, defense number 7, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So it hasn't been called targeting. Officials in the booth can look at that and review to see if there is targeting, but at this point, personal foul.
I didn't see forcible contact to the head or neck area or using the crown of the helmet.
That would have been 4th down. And so it's a first down for San Diego State.
Keeps the drive alive. Can the Aztecs take advantage?
Greg Bell. Boy, he's explosive. And he's loose. And he's out of bounds. After a gain of 11 and a first down, Caleb Mills finally got him.
What makes him so good is that he's a big body back that can run with power. Watch him bounce off the tacklers. Marsh is right there, and he just runs through his outstretched arms. That's incredible balance and power and lower body strength.
1st and 10 at the New Mexico State 18. He'll pull it. Brookshire has it, racing for the flag, and he dives, and he has it. Touchdown. First lead of the game for San Diego State.
We came onto the air tonight, Rich, talking about San Diego State wanting to prove people wrong. They were picked 4th in the preseason. What an excellent play call by Jeff Heklinski, the offensive coordinator.
Oof.
And tremendous effort there in the end by Brookshire to give them the lead.
He kept the forearm from going down until he got across the goal line. Ariza's kick is up, and new life right now for San Diego State. Down 10-0 at halftime. The Aztecs force a turnover and stick it in. Jordan Brookshire. Personal foul by DJ McCullough kept that drive going, and San Diego State used it to their advantage. They've taken the lead 14-10 over New Mexico State. 3 minutes left, 3rd quarter.
It's a costly penalty, and you see the look on McCullough's face as we take a look at the Aztec turnaround. Look at that, half over half. No points in the first half, 14 there in that 3rd quarter. The rush yards in this quarter. This offense has just simply come alive here to start the 3rd quarter in this ball game.
It's nice to see Jordan Brookshire smile, because on that drive, good throws and a terrific effort to get in the end zone.
I want to know what Brady said to him at halftime, because both sides of the football played a hell of a lot better here in the 2nd half.
Geico difference makers, there's a flag down. Greg Bell certainly has been a difference maker, already 128 yards.
He's just been phenomenal. He's been running behind that offensive line that Mike Goff, their first-year offensive line coach, has really brought some tenacity and togetherness to.
I like this guy.
Man, what I like about him is his moxie. Like, the numbers are where they should be in this offense, but given what he did last week and how ineffective he was, for him not to give up on himself, for his coaching staff to not to give up on himself, for his receivers.
After the play, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
It's remarkable, but then there's a penalty here to back them up even further.
It was bottom of the screen, and I believe it was Chris Ojo. So, look, Doug Martin and New Mexico State moved the football in that first half. Jonah Johnson's having a really nice night.
The Aztecs have dominated this 3rd quarter. The Aggies had 248 yards of offense in the first half, but only 32 here in the 3rd quarter.
From the 12, Johnson in a crowd. I think it was dropped. Terrell Warner with a receiver, and that's a flag. That is a flag and a push. Taylor Hawkins. Both teams are losing their composure right now. New Mexico State on defense with that third down hit, and this is going to push the football up the field.
And you got to be better than this if you're a senior. If you're Taylor Hawkins, that was great coverage. That little extra push right there is completely unnecessary.
And the whistle has blown a long time since then.
And then that right there is
After
what
the
gets
play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 9, 15 yards penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down. That's the first unsportsmanlike conduct on number 9.
This is where you need your senior leadership, and unfortunately Taylor Hawkins is one of those seniors. That is so frustrating for a head coach to have your veterans back there with all those new young faces making costly mistakes like that.
So the football sits at the 27. It's 1st and 10. Jawan Price in the backfield for the Aggies. And Johnson, this air raid offense. Ball's loose, and it's picked off, intercepted, into the end zone. Andrew Alecki, touchdown, Aztecs.
Pressure off the backside. We talk about it. The Aztecs were so good a season ago of getting the pressure. It's right here off that backside edge. This is what forces Johnson to throw the errant passes, beats the right tackle. We saw that tackle struggle mightily in the UTEP game, and it finally cost them big time with the pick 6 to take them up almost by 11.
Big play, and it started up front, the defensive front for San Diego State.
That was big time. We were keeping an eye on him. Doro O'Mary, the right tackle, a transfer from Houston. Short set. You cannot create a short corner because it makes the path to the quarterback quite a bit faster. That's just an excellent job by Alecki bringing the football, and then he's off to the races with the escort. Great job of usage of the hands backside by Jaleel Lecky, 52. It hits Johnson right as he throws it.
So it's Lecky with the hit and Alecki with the interception return for the touchdown. And Jonah Johnson and the Aggies right now trying to regroup. Costly turnovers. San Diego State has roared to a 21-10 lead, and this is still third quarter. 21 unanswered points, and 14 of them coming off turnovers.
And this started with them adjusting what wasn't working for them in the first half, pushing the ball downfield vertically in the pass game on offense and playing tighter coverage and bringing pressure defensively. And Rich, I got to tell you, man, this defense has been amazing. What they've done here in this game, particularly in the second half, they got the pressure, that had the interception right out of the gate to Laka. Then Taylor Hawkins doing a great job of getting his eyes around, peeling the ball out of the air, and then Lecky to Alecki for the touchdown. It's been that relentless pressure. The thing that was missing was how quickly Jonah Johnson was able to get the football out of his hands to open receivers. That has completely gone away here in the second half.
Back to work for the Aggies. Johnson throws, sideline caught there. They try to get themselves back in that nice little groove that they had in the first half. Terrell Warner with the catch. That gain is all the way out to the 40-yard line.
The way this offense is humming, they've got a chance to get themselves back in it, but they got those 10 points early on in the first half and have really not been able to do much moving the football since.
Johnson, other sideline. That's another gorgeous throw. Wyatt, the catch on the break. That's another 12-yard gain.
That's a deep out from the far hash. That's an NFL-type throw, and that just shows you how strong his arm is and why the coaches were so excited about what he brought to the table, and quite frankly, a little surprised at what took place against UTEP.
And of course, they're without Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Top receiver is out, COVID issues. Remember, Dom Jacinto went down in that first half as well. Johnson, short, and that's about as far as it's going to get. Taylor Hawkins there on the hit, Warner on the catch.
He's lucky he got that ball out. There was pressure right before it came, and he had to throw that ball up over the outstretched hands of a defender.
That's a lot of work.
Able to complete it,
A lot of work for a yard.
A lot of running by the receiver, too.
Alex Escobar in the backfield with Jonah Johnson. 2nd down and 9. 47-yard line of San Diego State. Steps through the pressure. Still behind the line of scrimmage. Now he'll tuck, get to the sideline, and escape. And he'll pick up about 6 yards on the carry.
Really nice job there by Johnson, keeping his eyes downfield. The Aztecs were able to get pressure on him right away. There were 4 vertical routes. They were trying to take a deep shot there, and it turned into the scramble drill and gives them a makeable 3rd down here with his legs.
3rd down and 5. Escobar is better at pass protection, and that's probably why he's in the backfield right now as a running mate for Jonah Johnson. There he is, number 21.
Coach's kid earned a scholarship as a walker, was named a captain as a walk-on.
Blitz comes, Johnson hit in traffic. It's incomplete. Boy, that's some heat on the quarterback. Patrick McMorris dislodged the ball from Terrell Warner, and let's see who got to Jonah Johnson.
To your point, Alex Escobar was able to pick up the pressure in the quarterback's face right there. That's not the problem, but it was the delayed blitz right there by Cedarius Barfield on a green dog that got the job done.
Jordan Byrd is deep. Terrell Warner is hurting. The whole wide receiver core, it seems like, is banged up for New Mexico State. Carlson's punt. Good one. Checks up and trickles in. 35 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Okay, if you're the Aztecs, you got to keep doing what's been working. They've come out throwing the football on early downs, and then once they get a rhythm, they use a little bit of tempo and then dial the football up and get that run game going. Going to be interesting to see what Heklinski dials up here. They're in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. This is a very typical run formation.
That 1 running back is really good. That's Greg Bell. Woo. Straight ahead, and he's got a convoy with him, and that's Dunkel, who's back in there. Dunkel had an unsportsmanlike and a personal foul in the first half.
This is what they love about Dunkel. Keep your eye on him. Just raw, brute power. That is called resetting the line of scrimmage. That's why the coaches love him. He's the enforcer up there. But
well,
you got to be smart, because he was a little too enforcey and almost got himself kicked out of the game. And frankly, I thought he should have, and he's lucky to be in there.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
What a 3rd quarter for San Diego State. 21 unanswered points for Brady Hoke and the Aztecs. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. It was 10-0 New Mexico State at halftime, and that really raised some eyebrows and drew some attention. San Diego State a huge favorite, 21 3rd quarter points. Jordan Brookshire, a great scramble for that last touchdown, faced with 2nd down at his own 25-yard line.
3 interceptions in the 3rd quarter. Played a huge factor in those 21 points.
Bell, well over 100 yards, now busts loose, stays on his feet, midfield, cuts back and is caught at the 42-yard line of New Mexico State. Another big run for Bell, who's up over 160 yards now.
Now they've got 12 personnel again there with the 2 tight ends. That's just a stretch zone. You get the defense running laterally, and you allow your back to put his foot in the ground and get north and south. That big body back again, running through tackles. Power, burst, vision, and speed to finish.
32 yards on that ramble.
This offense was off to an incredible start, historic even, because of his 400-yard games to start the season. And then it was the third play of that Nevada game, friendly fire. One of his offensive linemen stepped on his ankle. This offense was averaging over 300 rushing yards a game. After that, 132. The spigot turned off. Greg Bell is a difference maker, and we're seeing that here tonight.
1st and 10. This is Jordan Bird. That is loose. Jordan Bird. 43 yards. Touchdown, San Diego State. It's not just Greg Bell in that backfield that's dangerous.
The vertical stretch concepts here with the fly sweep. Run them laterally and then get north and south vertically. Bird is the speedster. They love him on the perimeter, but when he gets in the open field, he's hard to catch. That's what a deep running back room gets you, Rich.
Extra point is good. 28 unanswered from San Diego State. Not even a minute has escaped from the 4th quarter. Jordan Bird, 43 yards later, it's 28-10. This offense on a roll, 28 unanswered. Lindsey Rhodes, what's gotten into this group?
Well, I'll tell you what, a very different sideline these last couple of minutes for San Diego State, as you can imagine, for Jordan Brookshire in particular. You saw the smiles coming off the field. People are talking to him on the sideline now. For a while there, he looked like a baseball pitcher, 6 innings into a no-hitter. No one was going near him. That's changed.
I guess. And the halftime speech and the adjustments of Jeff Hesklinski, the offensive coordinator. 28 unanswered. This was a 10-0 New Mexico State lead at the half.
First 2 plays of the second half were vertical pass plays. And also credit Kurt Maddox, the defensive coordinator. Just an incredible job of him making adjustments as well.
Rise's kick is through the end zone. And, of course, the defense sets the stage for the offense.
I mean, take a look at that. 3 turnovers in the second half. In that 3rd quarter, all of those led to the 21 points that they scored. They completely shut the rush down that wasn't there to begin with. But the passing yards, 214 in the first half, only 49, 25% of that.
How do you recapture?
In that 3rd quarter.
How do you recapture the magic, if you're New Mexico State, that they had in the first half?
You got to go back to basics. You got to get the ball out quickly and get your receivers open. But San Diego State's making that hard by bringing pressure and playing tighter coverage.
They bring pressure. Johnson gets it off. Ball is bobbled and then dropped. And that's another thing. They're playing without a lot of weapons right now. Omori Samuels, the running back, couldn't hold it. Garcia Castaneda's out.
Jacinto with the arm. Those are 2 of their playmakers. There's some depth here. Kurt Maddox, the Aztecs defensive coordinator, I said, what do you think about the offense? He said, man, without question, their wide receiver group, not just the deepest group on the offense, it's the deepest group on the entire team, and he's right.
2nd down, 10.
Wow.
Alecki with the hit. It's a nice gain there. So for an update on where is Dom Jacinto, let's check in back with Lindsey Rhodes. Lindsey?
Well, he's on the sideline, but he's in street clothes. So it's not the update that New Mexico State fans were hoping for. Coach told me when they were leaving the field that they thought he might have broken his arm. He had x-rays done. It looks like they didn't get the answer that they were hoping for. He is out for the rest of the game.
All right, we hope for the best for that young man. 3rd down and 4. Johnson in trouble, wrapped up and sacked. San Diego State.
2 key players on this with great hustle. This is the pressure that we're talking about. Keep your eye
That is Sefo Malangi.
Malangi, and 24 was there as well. Malangi was able to get home. And that's what makes this defense so hard to defend. You got guys everywhere, and you don't know if they're a DB, a defensive end, or a linebacker, so it really screws your count up, and that's why guys come free like that.
Jordan Byrd is deep. San Diego State has all the momentum. Byrd with a fair catch makes it at the 43. Just a complete turnaround from the first half for San Diego State. Aztecs, big lead now.
Oh boy, and we're going to take a little liberty with the player because there's players. First the offensive line and Greg Bell taking things over. And this play right here by Jordan Brookshire. I will talk about this after the play, but that is a season-changing effort by that young man. And then finally Jordan Byrd with the burst. It's that deep running back room and those skilled players that are making such a huge difference tonight in the run game.
Back to work. And that one deflected and incomplete. Good job getting pressure by Michael Bowe Jr., the senior. He recovered a loose punt.
That was going to be a screen pass, and he's coming off the outside edge unblocked, but he gets there so quickly. Somebody has to at least chip him to slow him down so Brookshire can get that football out to the flat. Get all excited when it's a screen. You want to get out there and get your guy because you got to run so far. You got to take care of business on the line of scrimmage first.
Great Bell in the backfield. Trying to get outside. And a good pursuit. Run down there. Chris Ojo. Lama Lavea also on the hit.
Really nice job by Ojo there, coming from that second level and setting the edge and forcing the back inside so the pursuit could get him. San Diego State's taking their time now. We've seen them be at the line of scrimmage and run some tempo. They're noticeably going slower here, trying to milk the clock with this 18-point lead.
Ojo played in that national championship game 2 years ago in FCS for Eastern Washington. And a stop there. Michael Bowe Jr. makes the hit, and that's going to be fourth down. And San Diego State has to give it back to New Mexico State.
That's a 3 and out. That's a great job by the Aggies. I don't know if I like the play calling here. They're staying out there. Okay, here comes the punting team. This is not the time to get conservative, especially when you've struggled. Now, you don't want to be silly and turn the football over, but you also don't want to get too conservative where you lull yourself to sleep and give the Aggies a chance to get a quick strike and breathe some life into them.
Ariza has had an All-American type night punting the football, and this is no different. That's his fifth punt over 50 yards. That travels 55. I mean, I knew he was a good kicker. He's a great place kicker the last 2 years. He's the punter now as well, and he's absolutely killing it. They had a 10-0 lead, and then San Diego State rattled off 28 unanswered, and they've been feeling pretty good about themselves. Aggies with the football, backed up at their own 20. Down by 18, 11 minutes left. Johnson short throw. Warner the catch. It's a gain of about 5. Patrick McMorris for San Diego State made the hit.
Jonah Johnson started this game off red hot, but has really been held in check more or less in this second half. It's a credit and testament to this Aztec defense, but he's got to give his team a chance to get back in this ball game. San Diego State's not making it easy, but it is his job to try to make something happen.
He's been sacked twice. He's been picked off 3 times, all in the second half. Ball's loose. Johnson has it. New Mexico State will hold on, but this is going to be third down and about 6.
That's a really tough defense to be able to run on. But you take a look at the comparison between Jonah Johnson in the first half and the second half. It's that number right there. That's the biggie. just, again, a tale of two halves, but that's largely not his doing. It's what the Aztecs have been doing on the other side.
Aztecs bring 3, flush him out of the pocket. Johnson looking in trouble and steps out of bounds. Avoids the hit, but that's 4th down now. Garrett Fountain pursued him. And New Mexico State's going to have to give the football back.
Great 3-and-out there by San Diego State. They changed their coverage up a little bit on the back end and went to a cover 3. And Johnson had nowhere to throw the football. He tried to break outside and hope one of his receivers could shake free, and they just couldn't.
Doug Martin's team has played much better than they did last week, and remember, they did not play at all last year. They've had their moments, but San Diego State, the wake-up call came at halftime. That is a long, long punt, and downs at the 10-yard line. I think Brent Stover is booked for Las Cruces in his next tour.
Got an incredible music video if you want to YouTube that.
Jordan Bird in the backfield. Bird had the big touchdown run. He's wrapped up and caught by Chris Ojo.
Now I'm teasing my buddy Brent. He's got a lot more talent than I do musically. It's pretty good if you've ever listened to him.
Yes, he is. I would love to. I still have not seen a duet between he and Rick Neuheisel.
Yeah, that would be a good one. They both love their guitar and strumming now. Was that the proper vernacular there?
Close.
San Diego State wants to milk this clock, take as much time as they can.
So what have we learned about San Diego State so far? Down and a miserable first half, an electric third quarter, and they've continued it here in the 4th.
Well, that Brady Hoke gives really good halftime speeches and that they'll respond to that. But I really think it's a testament to the coaching staff to make the adjustments offensively, throwing the football vertically. Jordan Brookshire with his great run that really kind of sparked this offense and gave him some confidence. And then defensively being really stout with a young secondary and unleashing the pressure up front to take a quarterback that was red hot and really, really cool him off.
They're down at 6. And this is Chance Bell. Donovan King made the stop. Then Justin Segura trying to spark something.
Kahi Neves is feeling it. These are back-to-back 3-and-outs where the defenses are really starting for both sides, have dominated as of late. I really like what I've seen from both of these teams. They got chippy for a while and they kind of dialed themselves back, but both of these teams have played extremely hard, very physically. There's been no quit on either side.
Special teams player of the week in the Mountain West. That's my call. It's an easy one.
Super leg. He's going to take one just to take one.
Just to warm up.
False start. Offense, number 19. 5-yard penalty.
A 77-yarder. I think he had a 65-yarder in there as well.
Okay, now this becomes really interesting now because of the position of where the punter is. If you're New Mexico State, you may want to think about coming after this, try to get you a cheap, easy touchdown.
Another missile. My goodness. Ariza, MVP. 16-yard line.
They elected
75 yards.
gosh.
He has a 77, a 75, and I believe a 65. Unbelievable.
It's incredible.
They may carry this guy off on their shoulders for the first time ever for a punter.
Oh my gosh. He has put his leg in it. Well, Rich, I got to tell you, man, this defense for Kurt Maddox has been lights out here in this second half. Constant pressure led to 3 interceptions, one of which was a pick 6, and the defensive backs playing a lot tighter coverage, getting their head around, being in phase, playing the way that we're used to seeing San Diego State do. It's just remarkable how well they've been able to figure this thing out here.
Rice is averaging almost 59 yards a punt, and Johnson goes down in a pile. Caden McDonald got to him, one of the captains, first team All Mountain West last year.
We haven't talked much about Caden McDonald. Here he is right here. He's a captain. He was first team All Mountain West a year ago. He roomed with Kiava Tazino and picked his brain. Kiava Tazino was excellent at rushing the passer, mostly because he couldn't cover very much. But he certainly learned from his old room dog well, and it's really been the pressure in this second half that's been the difference.
Samuels out to the 15-yard line. Do you think that this San Diego State team is the fourth best team in the west of the Mountain West? That's where many polls, including The Athletic, has them.
In the first half, absolutely. This offense is a run-based offense. The Achilles heel for them has been their inability to throw the pass with consistency. If they don't get that figured out, it's going to be hard.
Johnson takes the hit, goes down hard, ball's out of bounds. Alecki delivered the blow. Samuels recovered the ball. And the big quarterback is up. That was a third down, and the ball's going to be marked at the 23.
Quite the stick by Saguna Luby there. Dislodging the quarterback from the ball. Perfectly legal hit. But that transfer of power from Alubi to Johnson was tremendous. To finish the thought on San Diego State being the fourth best team, they win games with defense. We've seen that here in the second half. We know they can run the football. There's some pretty dang good quarterbacks in the West Division of the Mountain West Conference that they're going to have to contend with. And if they can't get into a shootout and punch and score points, it's going to be hard for them to be successful.
San Diego State 28, New Mexico State 10, and there's a smile from a head coach. 28-10. This is usually a time where we revisit Aaron Taylor's handiwork and see if his keys to the game lived up to all of our lofty expectations.
Well, turned potential in the points. They were good in the red zone, but they only scored 10, and the spigot turned off for the last three quarters. Defensively, not very good by them. Offensively, not very good throwing the ball, even though the Aztecs were great running it. The defense really keeping Jonah Johnson in check, particularly running with relentless pressure and blitzing here in the second half. The pass game, Rich, was their Achilles heel at the end of the year, and a big reason why they lost 3 of their last 4.
Lucas Johnson at quarterback, and this carry is Chance Bell.
Another tackle by Segura there. He's a defensive lineman, a backup from Scottsdale. Went to Horizon High School and been playing pretty well. Now we see a new quarterback, Lucas Johnson. He's a very effective running quarterback with house speed on the perimeter. We saw that in the Nevada game. He's somebody that's got some wheels that adds a different dimension under center here running the football.
And he played the end of that Nevada game with a leg injury as well. I believe it was a hamstring that affected his throwing. And down is William Dunkel. He's limping. Dunkel did not have a great first half. We documented that. It's nice to see him back in the second half and back in the game.
And to his credit, he was able to maintain his physicality. We telestrated him, show you putting a pancake, putting a defender on his back, but doing it so with good sportsmanship. You want to set the tone. You want to inflict physicality and demoralize your opponent if you can, but you can't do it dirty. See if we see Johnson's legs here.
Bell fighting for the first down, and he's a yard short.
Interesting decision here. In a normal situation, it's 4th down. You got a big lead. You punt the ball away, but you've also completely controlled the line of scrimmage. If you get this yard here, this ball game is effectively over. You know what my vote's for, Rich.
Well, yeah, you're still a card-carrying member of the offensive line guild, and a dues-paying member at that. So I get it.
They may just be letting this clock run down and take a timeout and punt this thing away. I'm too much of an offensive lineman.
So it's a timeout. It gives us time to talk about this team and this division. One of the things that the division in the Mountain West that has, talk about the polls. Here, this is the preseason poll. And in this one, San Diego State was 3rd. In others, they were down as far as 4. But you look at Nevada, San Jose State, and Fresno State. All 3 of those teams have really good quarterbacks. And that's the challenge for San Diego State, to develop that passing game. And all 3 of those teams, Fresno State took Oregon, number 11 Oregon, down to the wire today up in Eugene. San Diego State, or San Jose State at USC. That was a tight game that broke open in the later stages.
Nevada looks like it's got a chance to beat Cal. It's going to be a competitive race this year.
Ariza, that's the worst punt he's had, but his average is still going to be like 57. And let's see how the acting is.
Oh,
no, he got hit.
Got
that should be a flag.
Yeah.
You can't do that to the Mountain West Special Teams Player of the Week.
That wasn't his plant leg, but that might have been enough to get him that first down, because it was 4th and 1. Missed that.
Jonah Johnson still in there at quarterback. It will be interesting to watch this New Mexico State team moving forward, because their schedule is, certainly as an independent, can be difficult, and they've got some games in there. They travel to New Mexico for their next game. That's a rivalry. They have South Carolina State coming in. They play Hawaii home and home. That's unheard of. At San Jose State, at Nevada, those are tough games. They've got Utah State at home. And they go on the road to face Alabama and Kentucky in the month of November. So there's some games in there that you think, especially watching them here. They travel to Purdue on September 11th.
There's some wins on there. There's two, 3 wins. If this team could get to 3 wins this season under the circumstances they've been, it'd be remarkable. Like, we talked to the defensive coordinator, Frank Spaziani, and he said this is the toughest coaching year he's ever had and the toughest coaching job he's ever had to undergo. There were 43 people that joined this team over the summer, as Lindsay has reported on. You're basically starting over. I thought her point was great about these guys being strangers and introducing themselves.
Almost a pick. And it's incomplete.
Sorry, buddy, but football's a team sport, and for you to not know your teammates, as we take a look at Frank Spaziani there.
That guy is whenever you have a coaches meeting, guys like him just stand out. He is so honest and open. Was the head coach at Boston College, and Doug Martin was there with him as the offensive coordinator. That's a good throw. And Terrell Warner with the catch.
And
a lot of positives for New Mexico State, Frank Spaziani, and Doug Martin to take out of this.
No question. There's a lot of good, significant improvement week over week for this team.
And they want to get in the end zone right now. They would love to finish this on a high note.
Oh.
That is incomplete. A collision between Noah Tumblin. And Segun Alubi.
Alubi's been all over the field tonight. This secondary's really seemed to mature over the second half of this ball game. But to your point, yeah, the Aggies do want to score here. There's 1:17 left. They haven't touched the end zone since the beginning of the second quarter, and they're playing hard.
They've lost one of their top receivers, Dom Jacinto. Johnson, end zone. He's got a man. That's Wyatt. And great play by Tumblin.
Now that's an underthrown football with too much air on it, which allowed Tumblin to be able to recover, get his head around. If he had thrown that football with a little bit more mustard, the receiver had 2 or 3 steps on Tumblin, but because it was underthrown, he was able to recover.
They're down at 10. For San Diego State will be on the road at Arizona. They've got Utah coming here in 2 weeks. And Johnson takes a hit, holds on, has a first down. Clock stops, they'll move the chains.
Those are the plays that you'll watch on tape as a team and see your quarterback in this situation playing his tail off that will win you over for this team. And we've seen both Jordan Brookshire and Jonah Johnson have those sort of plays. That's what you love to see out of your signal caller. Vertical shots here.
He is tripped up and dropped. And I think getting a hand on him was Kahi Neves.
New Mexico State has called their first timeout of the half. Timer, please reset the game clock to 39 seconds. 30-second timeout.
San Jose State's got Nick Starkel. Nevada with Carson Strong, Jake Hayner we saw last week. San Diego State, and we talked about the schedule, and this was supposed to be a tune-up, but it turned into a real test. And they'll get another test when they travel and face Arizona. Utah is here, and it's on CBS Sports Network. And they open Mountain West play in early October after a week off against New Mexico. But look at where they go in the Mountain West. They go to San Jose State. They go to Air Force, Fresno State, and Boise State, and Nevada all come here.
This thing lays out pretty well for them. It's a tough schedule, but one that they can navigate. They're going to have to continue to get better, but if you run the football and play good defense, you've always got a shot.
A second down and 15. Flags down in the backfield. Wyatt, the catch, gets to the 30, but this is probably coming back. Been a well officiated game.
I agree.
Holding, offense, number 76, 10-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot, second down.
And an excellent job in fixing
New Mexico
the
State
referee's
has called their
microphone.
second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
An excellent use of duct tape. This is kind of a battle of wills here, right, at the end of the game. It's interesting because the Aggies obviously really want to score, right? They know they can't win, so it's a pride thing. But defensively, for the Aztecs, they don't want to give up some points. So both of these teams, even in a game that's largely decided, are still playing extremely hard. To me, that's encouraging on both sides of the football. That's the thing that I love about this sport. It's the thing that teaches you stuff you just can't learn any other way. How do you show up when the outcome's largely decided? Do you do what you're supposed to do with great intensity and great effort on every play, or do you mail it in? Neither of these teams have mailed it in, and it's been fun to watch.
Johnson escapes the rush once, steps away. He may have been across the line of scrimmage, and he misses the intended receiver, and the flags go down. And he was across the line of scrimmage.
They're marching the wrong way. It's back-to-back penalties on these plays. So as much as you want it, you also have to maintain your focus.
Looks like Coach Martin wants to take another timeout and talk to his guys. Possibly made the motion of taking the timeout.
He was almost a good 2 yards across.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
The line of scrimmage.
I think it's going to be an interesting year this year in the Mountain West Conference. I was really pleasantly surprised watching Fresno State today against Oregon.
Illegal forward pass, offense number 10. 5-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. Penalty includes loss of down. It'll be 4th down. New Mexico State has called their 3rd and final timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff. Correction, it's 3rd down.
And thus the timeout there is to avoid the runoff, keep some time up on the clock.
Saw him make a heads-up play early on in this ball game with the usage of timeouts as well to keep his quarterback Jonah Johnson in the football game.
Yeah, the Fresno State-Oregon game could have very easily gone the other way. That was a neck and neck all the way down to the wire. USC pulled away from San Jose State in the 4th. Johnson still alive. Escobar with the catch. Escobar, good move there. A little shimmy and a shake, but not enough for the 1st down. Caught and dropped. And San Diego State's going to get the football. Jordan Brookshire and the Aztecs. Oh, that's my bad. I thought that was 3rd down. It was 3rd. I thought it was 4th. It was 3rd. Game's over. Moot point. And a tough night for Jonah Johnson. A great night. Great comeback from Brady Hoke. Incredible second half. And San Diego State is 1-0, but man, it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. But credit this team making some great adjustments in the running of Greg Bell. Career high rushing tonight, 165 yards. Starting this year off like he did a season ago with 100+ on the ground. Just an incredible second half adjustments and effort by this team, and especially to calm themselves down a bit.
They cannot afford to come out the next 2 weeks like they did in the first half tonight, though, at Arizona and then Utah here on this field. So a 28-10 win for San Diego State. For Aaron Taylor, Lindsey Rhodes, and our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. San Diego State gets into the thick of it with 2 Pac-12 opponents coming up, and then into the Mountain West in early October. A huge 3rd quarter. The difference in this one for the Aztecs and Jordan Brookshire. This is a presentation of CBS Sports Network. 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After the break, back to New York for Inside College Football.